Hello, my name is Francis Fox, and I'm an expert in interspecies communication, remote viewing. All my psychic abilities have been developed and assessed due to being in a still yet to be declassified military mind control program. I'm a bit subdued right now. Um, Today is an 1111 portal. It means an alignment at many levels, and a lot of very interesting things can happen. I believe this is going to be a very positive portal for a lot of people. And then for other people, it will be the opposite, depending upon their frequency. I'm going to go over the map of the United States first. I didn't bother asking you, did you want the good news first or the bad news first? So let's give you the good news first, because it is really very good news. Let me get the image up so that you can see it. I did this probably 15 minutes ago. I need to always put the time on the maps and I forget. The United States looks great. You have a double protection from the Galactic Brotherhood, which means the off planet forces that are benign are protecting the United States, and let's use the word big time. And you have the frequencies are pink and blue, which is the union of male and female, and they're flowing very, very nicely. That being said, at the top of the page, it says total breakdown of society. And I went, oh no. And then the continuation of it is in the other dimensions. In other words, we're going to go into total chaos at some level, or many people are going to go into total chaos, or people that don't have the energetic stability in the other dimensions are going to go into total chaos. And at the bottom, thank God, the words that I got was the United States protected. I did not sketch anything in particular in the United States. We worked on New York a couple of days ago, and we were able to improve it massively in terms of the Higgs field, the grid. In other words, in the United States, the grid looks great. Uh, and in New York, it was god awful, and the fault line under New York was breaking, which we could have caused earthquakes. But I believe we were able to take care of that with energy work. And but then the reason I was going to give a chat today, because I already gave one yesterday, and this gets converted into a podcast on Spotify and Apple, was because I have a problem, but it's really a societal problem. The Pope is not happy with me. I'm not happy with the Pope. And the only reason we have had this confrontation has to do with the fact that the Cuban cartel were doing satanic rituals on me in a Catholic church in Miami that's on the water right next to Grove Isle. Everybody will know what church it is, what hospital it is. It was in the morgue. And I will repeat the story very short. I was shocked when I could see that there was a body in the morgue, and there was a doctor working on the body, and they had slit it top to bottom and was putting photographs of me inside the opening, somewhere with the head up and somewhere with the head down. In other words, to create total confusion. So the next day I was giving a chat, and I always use real life things for my group to develop their remote viewing skills and their understanding of the other dimensions and ethics. So I took them. I said, if you want to see something really interesting, look what was happening yesterday in the morgue. And we had several hundred people, and a lot of them are very good remote viewers. And there was a lot going on, refrigerators with organs that are used for rituals, satanic stuff. And then I don't know how many, but several people said, this is all associated with the Vatican. Of course, it's a Catholic church, and Miami and the Cuban cartel and the Vatican are very close. So we went to the Vatican to remote view. Underneath the Vatican, they have several floors that are used, a lot of them for black magic, and they have rooms that are assigned to countries where they do these kind of rituals to the rulers or the presidents or whatever. And they had a room with me in them. So that's how we ended there. We didn't go to see if it's true, everything that's said about the Vatican. I would have no doubt. but it's beyond true. So today is 11/11. It's a portal. So today would be an important day for people that do black magic and are into Satanism. This is a day in which you get a lot of powerful energy. So if you launch a project today, if you do something that's important, if you really vitalize an intention that you have, you get a lot of energy behind it. I kind of figured that they would do something. Oh, going back, we're working with Venezuela, and it turned out that the Pope has intentions in Venezuela. And I think I said that yesterday's chat. And so last night we worked on what was going on in Venezuela to block the Pope's intentions with Venezuela, which is basically, I thought it would have to do with getting in there once the dictator's out, but no, what they're doing in Venezuela, the Pope, the Vatican, is pulling out stuff like gold and whatever. And they just made two Venezuelan saints, two at a time, a little bit unusual. I'm not exactly sure what all their intentions are, but they're very ugly intentions. So we worked on purifying it. But basically, that's not true. We weren't working on purifying the Vatican's intentions, evil intentions in Venezuela. We worked on making Venezuela very grounded. Because, like I said, Venezuela is like a pastry. Everybody wants it. So even if we stopped the Cuban cartel by revealing what they were doing, and now we reveal what the Vatican's doing, there's going to be somebody else. So I said we need to work on Venezuela as a country. They're coccyx. So they'll be very rooted and grounded, like what they say in the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. They don't say deliver us from evil. They say help us to be in the present, which means rooted and grounded. Well, we did that, and it was beautiful, beautiful, the stuff that came out. Okay, so that was last night. So today, I could tell that there was stuff going on. It makes sense. It would be several people doing black magic on me, but I was able to see what the Vatican is doing on me. Now, since yesterday or the day before, they're not doing the black magic on me personally inside the Vatican in the basements. They're doing it in one of the apartment, actually a top floor apartment. The Vatican has 6 blocks around them that are totally mind controlled through radionics. So one of those apartment buildings, and I could see it's an old apartment building, they were doing a ritual. Now, the ritual that they were doing in the hospital in Miami, it was a dead body. The ritual that they were doing in the basement a couple weeks ago, I assumed was a dead body. The ritual that they were doing today, less than an hour ago, was a body that was alive. They found a woman that was middle-aged. They were trying to find somebody like me. That's a compliment because I'm not middle-aged, I'm old. They found a woman that was middle-aged, kind of built like me, and then not this short hair, because most people don't have this short hair. Thank you, Mr. CIA. That's the reason I have short hair. And I could see that they cut all her hair off. So she's laying on this table, and she has blood and other fluids going into her. This is happening like an hour ago. She's probably still alive. So I'm not exactly sure what it was, like with the morgue body. They cut it top to bottom and were inserting pictures of me. I'm not exactly sure what it is that they were doing to the body, except that at one point they were just going to pull the plug, and then basically they would be pulling the plug on me. Black magic works. That's why all ancient civilizations have all sorts of evidence, and every time the archaeologists find something, they go, gee, I wonder what this is. Give me a break. Sometimes they say it looks like something magical or spiritual. So I don't exactly. I think it was because I was shocked that there was a person that they're killing if she's not already dead. And your spirit is not stuck to your physical body. It astral travels every night. And when you die, it astral travels for the last time and doesn't return. You ditch your physical body. Basically, if you can accept that and understand that the Egyptians must have known something, that's why they preserved those bodies for so long. Then there's all sorts of possibilities, none of which. What did I see if I have any notes? Oh, the pictures that they were using was my thumbnail for my chat last night, which is a map of Venezuela behind me. I don't remember what the map is, but it's a map of Venezuela. And I don't think I was on the map. No, it was somebody took a photograph of me during the chat. And behind me during the chat, there's a map of Venezuela. And then I'm there giving the chat like I'm doing right now. Those were the pictures that they were using. And I don't know where they were putting them. I have no idea. The point of the matter is that we don't know enough about how people die, what they're like when they're alive. We think that we're a physical body. Oh, yeah, we astral travel. That's so neat. No, we have several bodies. We have an assemblage of bodies. I'm going to flash them up on the screen for a second. There you go. And you can have more than one astral body, such as the graphic at the top. If you're looking at the camera, I think it's top left. And then the middle one, that's a severely disassociated person. And at the bottom, those are two sets of bodies dealing with each other. Okay, so where am I going? I decided to sketch the Pope. It's interesting. Months ago, I sketched Europe. The only country in Europe that had X's, which is black magic, around it was Italy. Totally surrounded by black magic. But I believe sometimes when I see that, it's because the magicians are trying to protect something. But you're not, if you have a Higgs field and there are layers and layers, one on top of the other, perfectly aligned, and then energy goes through it moves systematically because the boxes of the Higgs field are perfectly aligned. Once you start putting X's, you're Xing out some of those channels. It's not good, but I'm not sure that everybody knows that, including the heavy duty black magicians. But Italy was completely not X'd out the entire border. And I didn't say very much. I don't know. Didn't say very much. I don't need another set of enemies. But I think we'll have an explanation now. Let me show you what I sketched for the Pope, and it is very scary. Very, very scary. I have no reason to lie. I have so many interesting things I can talk about. I have so many good things happening in my life. I have so many enemies that are very dangerous. I'm not looking for another enemy. I wasn't looking to position the Vatican in the position it's in today. They did it themselves. They went after me because of the whole Cuban cartel thing, because they're so closely associated. Now, how closely associated are they with the deep state? Who's on top, the deep state or the Vatican? Anyway, let me show you. Okay. Here's the Pope. I did this an hour ago. The Pope is not the Pope. First place, we're all an assemblage of bodies. He has the spirit of one person who's mind controlled on the right side of his body. You can see the text I put at top, what I scribbled. And then on the left side of his body, he has the spirit of another person. Remember, your spirit works with your physical body, separates at night to astral travel, and then separates for the last time when you die. It can go any place. It can do anything, and it can attach to other people. They call that attachments and possessions. So the Pope has two people attached to him. One is a mind control person, and the other one is a person, just another person. And the mind control person, the mind streams are red and down, massively depressed. And the other person has the mind streams depressed. So he's like completely two different persons. That is okay. So he has a possession issue. Okay, fine. That's not the big thing. The big thing that in between, we have a center axis which overlays our physical spine. It is literally the Holy Grail. Literally. The Holy Grail supposedly is something that that it has all the power in the world. Reality is created by your intentions. Your power is intention. So the Holy Grail is where that channel is where our intentions are. But the problem here is that that channel, you can't see it, but I sketched it in black. It's a double terminated funnel, like the Holy Grail. What is controlling that is an evil energy. So you have three different systems going on in the Pope, and he's nowhere to be found. None of that. The center of it, that energy, the one on the left, the one on the side, is not him. The part of his personality that is still hanging around, and like I put in the graphic, I don't know if this is good news or bad, but he has a deep desire to die, and he would. Everybody, honestly, human beings are all good people. The only way we can do bad things and be bad, but we're not really be bad, we do bad things, is because of spirit attachments and spirit possessions. And when our soul leaves, the center axis Holy Grail is your soul. Your spirit is the one that you're seeing on the sketches on the right. They're supposed to be kind of like gold, orange. When you're too angry, they're red. When you're too depressed, they're black. They're usually red. But if they're too depressed, they're black. So I don't know where the Pope's spirit, soul is, or even his spirit. So we should have done much more work on figuring out, the pyramids. The pyramids were supposedly built to house a physical body of somebody who died. Come on, he's dead. Well, maybe he's not so dead. And maybe we should have done, rather than lift our noses at how we are so much better because we can put an airplane in the air, maybe they don't need airplanes. Maybe they can astral travel and go any place they want, whenever they want, without having to buy a ticket and waiting and standing in line and all the rest of it. We have been so disrespectful of ancient knowledge, and look at where we got. Would be the Pope the number one spiritual leader of the world? And he is beyond a zombie? And he, by the way, is personally involved in the satanic rituals that are done to me, because I was able to see it yesterday. Not that he's in that room doing them. No, he is aware of them. He is authorizing it. And he actually called me a bitch yesterday because they watch my chats. And I can see some of the people that watch us. What he said was in Spanish, esta puta, which means, what does it mean? Esta puta means this prostitute, whatever. Anyway, actually, I feel better now having said this. He can't be any more of an enemy of mine. They're already doing satanic rituals to kill me. They wouldn't dare use a mind control victim as one of the people the Cuban cartel has under mind control via the CIA and the FBI, because I have gone too public with this information. Now, you have to ask yourself, she must be crazy. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. But the people who know a lot more than you do, they don't want to let go of me, because this level of crazy is not crazy. It's advanced knowledge that you don't have and that you need. You can't take care of your children properly unless you have this knowledge. You can't take care of yourself properly. You don't even know how to die. You guys do autopsies on people that are still alive. You are not truly dead until 72 hours after your physical body dies. And you're doing autopsies. And you think you're a big deal. Modern society. 40% of our children are mentally ill, according to psychologists and the numbers. Trump, you volunteered to be in charge at this point. So we are in one hell of a mess. And The big mess is, how is it that we didn't see that how is it nobody barely remembers that the 300,000 kids just in that group that came over the border and they're missing? How is it that people don't remember stuff? Why is the Vatican, what they were doing was trying to make me forget? What is it they want me to forget? How come these people can take and blanket all of our minds to where our memories are dulled and we don't remember what's important? Why can they insert information in our mind? Because they have knowledge about the assemblage of bodies, because they know more than we've been allowed to know. And that has to change. We need to be in control of us. Us is not a physical body, it's not even the astral body. Us is that center axis that in the Pope is controlled by an evil energy. That's our soul. It's a liquid. Oh, you don't know that? It's okay. Nobody that knows that was allowed to tell you that. The big disinformation campaign, they must have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on it in the last 10 years to have people turn on me to think that I was crazy, has to do with all this stuff. Adam Schiff, my handler, Rene de Villegas, who's ever in control of all of that stuff, the deep state, they know this stuff and you don't. How can you defend yourself? You can't. You can think you're a free person. In this country, everybody thought they were free, and other countries where they're poor, they thought they were enslaved. That's not the way it went. Their bodies may have been poor and their homes may have been poor, but their minds were not enslaved. And a lot of that food toxins and the stuff and the injections was to affect your ability to maneuver to understand the other dimensions. Trump, how much longer are you going to take before you make cannabis a completely free sacred herb? I'm not going to talk about declassify, reclassify. That is so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Cannabis gently opens the veils to other dimensions, so you have more of an opportunity to maybe seeing something and understanding something. I think that's it. I think I feel better. When I did the sketch of the Pope, I felt like giving up. But I didn't feel like giving up having to do with me because I have no intention to die. Therefore, I cannot die. Because intention creates reality. You can only die if you intend on it. And a lot of people intend on it. They're not even in contact with that. If you ask the Pope, he's not going to tell you that little note I have up here at the bottom under my logo. He has a deep desire to die. If you ask him, he's not in contact with that. So we will be back. You should be doing mantras. The center axis, the Holy Grail, is a cannabinoid receptor. Cannabinoid receptors are channels, and they channel the nectar that's the human mind. And there's a name for the nectar in Hinduism. It's Amrit, Amrit. The center axis is a very large cannabinoid receptor. Black holes in the galaxy, very large cannabinoid receptors. The strings, 72,000, small cannabinoid receptors. So maybe we shouldn't dilly-dally with the thing with making cannabis not totally free, just let it go. We should start a campaign. Let my people go. Let my cannabis go. Let it go. Let it go. And then it's going to take a while because of all the disinformation. I mean, after all, it's okay. Cannabis, the disinformation campaign on cannabis was that cannabis is the fruit of the devil. No, the fruit of the devil in the Bible all over the place is fire. Cannabis puts out fire. So cannabis takes away the food of the devil. He gets left no food. So exact opposite of what cannabis does. And it's been used in Ayurvedic medicine and considered a sacred herb for 5,000 years. And it's been used in Chinese medicine for 2,000 years recommended daily for couples. Why? Well, it's really good for sex, but I suspect that the reason it's really good for sex is because it reduces the fire, which means there's less fighting and there's more goodwill. Anyway, that's it. And if I wasn't who I was, I would say pray for me that the Vatican, because it doesn't win. The Vatican's not going to win. We're in Revelations. They're on their way down. I just don't want them to mess up 7 years of work we've put in to Venezuela, trying to support its right to a peaceful transition of government, duly elected officials. And now the Vatican's going to come in. Come on, give me a break. And Cuba, pay attention, because I was going to say the Cohens. No, the cartels. The cartels all work with Cohens. Okay. Um, they wanted Cuba for their base. I mean, after all, it's restricted and it's a bad place and blah blah blah. Great place for them to set up. Lots of deserted places. We did such a job on Cuba. Cuba didn't do a job on us. No, 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 no. That's a very small island. What Cuba was known for was fun, dancing, rum, beaches. And Cuba, by the way, when communism took over, Cuba had the highest number, percentage-wise, of females that graduated from the university. Not typical for what you would think would be a communist country. It was the CIA that did a tremendous disinformation job on Cuba. And here we are today with the number one spiritual leader on the planet, the Pope. He's not even a possessed triumvirate. He's very sick and very dangerous. And the evil energy is controlled from off planet. It's not from this planet. But is that beyond you? It's okay. Okay, that's it. We will be back. And I think I'm going to pack my suitcase. I think I'm going to pack my suitcase.